Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This March, I've been keeping up with 7 BL series, some that have been ongoing for a while, and some newly released ones that bring fresh excitement. I thought it'd be fun to share my honest thoughts on each of them and hear your insight as well. I hope you'll enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's dive right in. The storyline for this series is really intriguing, and I was quite curious to see how it would unfold. At first though, what excited me the most was seeing Junior and Mark get another lead role. I'm genuinely happy for them and love watching their continued growth as a pair. Ohm and Poon, on the other hand, came as a bit of a surprise, but I was excited to see them too and curious about how their chemistry would translate on screen. We're currently 7 episodes in, and I've been enjoying the story more with each episode. It's such an easy watch, lighthearted, heartwarming, and genuinely funny at times. Both couples have really entertaining storylines, and neither one ever feels dull to follow. Junior and Mark have been delivering great performances, and I'm really enjoying their dynamic in this series. As for Ohm and Poon, I didn't quite know what to expect at first, but they've been growing on me quickly. Their storyline is pure chaos in the best way, and I love how unserious and playful it's definitely cute. I also like that Ohm is playing a character that's so different from the colder ones he often plays. Seeing him portray someone more lively and fun has been a refreshing change and honestly one of the highlights for me. Poon, on the other hand, is doing amazing as always. He has a way of completely owning every role he takes on. Overall, this has been a really nice watch so far, and I've been enjoying the story and the characters quite a lot. I have to say, the trailer for this series didn't give the best representation of what we were in for. Even after watching it multiple times, I still didn't fully understand the focus of the story, and honestly, the synopsis didn't help much either. That actually made me less excited for the series when it was announced. But once it started airing and I started watching it, I was completely surprised, in the best way. With each episode, I keep getting more and more blown away. This is probably the darkest, most unhinged IBL I've seen in a while, and I'm loving every chaotic moment. I will say, this is a series you really need to watch without distractions. The back and forth between past flashbacks and the present can get confusing. But since it's got me glued, I've found it easy to follow, and the flashbacks only make it more interesting. I'm also loving how different this is from Fort and Pete's previous work. Both characters are a blast to watch, and seeing Pete take on a full-blown psycho role has been such a treat. It's refreshing to see him play something so different from his usual characters. I can't wait to see how this ends, though for me, a happy ending would honestly be them going their separate ways. But knowing how BL series usually go, I think we'll probably get a traditional happy ending where the couple ends up together. Sometimes I don't think it's necessary, but we'll see how they handle it. Out of every series currently airing, and everything released so far this year, this is easily my personal favorite. I'd been looking forward to it for such a long time, and I'm beyond thrilled that it hasn't disappointed. Since the pilot was released, I already knew I'd love this series, but I didn't realize I'd be this obsessed. TD and Poor are undeniably one of the cutest couples I've ever seen, and currently among my most favorite couples. Their chemistry has always been a given, but seeing them together every week is a different experience. They have me smiling from start to finish, and I find myself loving them more with every episode. This is one series that I make sure to watch as soon as it airs. I really can't miss it, and waiting for a new episode is always excruciating. I also have to highlight TD's incredible performance. He has truly impressed me with his portrayal of DUANG. I think it's not an easy character to pull off without it coming off cringy or annoying. Yet he makes DUANG feel genuinely adorable, funny, and lovable. I'm already eager to see him take on different roles in future projects. Another thing I'm really loving is seeing TD and Yim as brothers. I've always thought they look alike since the first time I saw TD, and I just can't imagine anyone else fitting the role better than Yim. The friend groups are also a lot of fun. I like how supportive both groups are of the couple, which adds even more charm to the series. I highly recommend watching the uncut version. There are some really fun moments that aren't in the YouTube cut version. I, however, always make it a point to watch both versions just to support the pair, and rewatching it for me is honestly fun. Overall, I have no complaints about this series, except that I don't want it to end anytime soon. I finally caught up with this series, after originally stopping at episode 2. Honestly, when it was first announced, it didn't really spark my interest and was actually one of the series I was least excited for. The talking cats aspect didn't appeal to me at all, probably because I'm just not a cat person. Watching the first 2 episodes, I couldn't say I was hooked. I had a hard time staying focused, which is why I decided to take a break and come back later. Now that I've watched all 8 currently aired episodes with more attention, I can see why so many people enjoy it. The story is straightforward and easygoing, and I think it's a really comforting and healing series. It strikes a nice balance between some deeply emotional and happier moments, and the romance feels calm and soothing. While there are many aspects of this series that I enjoy, I'm not necessarily enjoying it as much as most people seem to be. I think part of it comes down to the cats. I probably would have enjoyed the series more if they weren't such a central focus. I don't mind them showing up in a few scenes as pets, but here, since they have actual roles, it feels really different. It's pretty hard to explain, but overall, that's just my take. It's still an interesting series, even if it's not fully my taste. I've always loved time slip stories, so this series immediately caught my attention. On top of that, it's only the second time we've seen a Korean couple reunite in another series since Ji-woong and Seo-bin, which made me more excited. Seeing Woo Ji-han and Shin Jang-yu working together again was something I was looking forward to, and their chemistry is just as good as I remember. It's nice getting to see them bring that same connection into a completely new story. I know some viewers were disappointed that the series is set in a high school, but that wasn't really an issue for me since I already knew what to expect going in, and I generally enjoy school dramas anyway. That said, I do agree with some of the concerns about the pair being a bit too old to play high school students and not looking the part. At times, it can be a bit distracting. Maybe a university setting would have suited them better. Still, it's something I've managed to overlook and rather focus on the story itself. I'm glad they're releasing 2 episodes each week, because the first 2 honestly felt like they could have been combined into one. Nothing really stood out to me, and I wasn't immediately left eager to see what would happen next. So I can only imagine what it would have felt like if they released just 1 episode and made us wait another week for very little progress. I was also a bit unsure about the direction the story was taking at first, mainly because of the mystery surrounding Yoo-jin in the first episodes. But after episodes 3 and 4, things have become much clearer, and episode 4 in particular left me excited for coming episodes. I have a feeling the ending might be a tragic one, but I'm still excited to see what the final 4 episodes have to offer. I'm thrilled we finally get to watch The Sun from Another Star. This was the story I was most excited for in the 2nd season, so seeing it here is such a treat. I was looking forward to this couple for ages, and it's great to see these 2 actors finally get the spotlight. Compared to season 1 and the other parts of this 2nd season, this story really stands out because it brings in the supernatural genre, which I love. The first episode was a strong start and thoroughly enjoyable. It set the tone well and immediately made me excited, while episode 2 continued that momentum nicely. One thing that really has me intrigued is Daotok's indifference towards Ardit. I've always been curious to see how their romantic relationship would unfold. So far, it feels like this is shaping up to be a slow burn romance, which makes the journey even more interesting. Watching them gradually grow closer, and eventually seeing what they're like once they start dating should be a lot of fun. The murder mystery plot was really enjoyable and had me hooked. I initially thought it would take several episodes to solve the case, but I loved it all the same. I guess that means we might get even more exciting mysteries as the story unfolds. At this point, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what surprises the narrative still has in store. Going into this series, I wasn't completely sure what kind of chaos these three new couples would bring. I had a rough idea of what to expect, but it's already kicked off with quite some drama, and it's really bringing back memories of season 1. What I was most curious about, though, was how the chemistry between all 6 actors would work, and so far I like what I'm seeing. Everyone seems to fit their roles well, and the 3 couples each have their own distinct dynamic, which makes things feel more interesting to watch. This series is also a complete turnaround from the roles we usually see Earth and Mix in, and it's been really refreshing to watch. Mix, in particular, has been really impressive as Dean. Dean isn't necessarily my favorite character, but Mix is portraying him incredibly well, and I think the character works exactly the way he's supposed to within the story. Ao and Boom are doing an amazing job. Their storyline is definitely set up to bring a lot of disaster, but I'm here for it. Out of the 3 couples, the storyline I'm most invested in right now is Tua and Arnold's. I'm definitely rooting for them, even though I already know their relationship is probably going to get messy at some point too. I will say that the first 2 episodes felt a bit repetitive at times, but episode 3 was good and has been my favorite so far. We finally start to understand more about the history between Dean and Jack. And it's also becoming clear what kind of drama Boston is about to bring and how his character fits into the story this season. I'm really glad he's part of this season too. Although I know he's only there to cause chaos, I'm fully prepared for the ride. Overall, the series feels like it's been building up its story quite well. I've been enjoying it so far, maybe not quite on the same level as season 1 just yet, but it's still been a very fun watch. This brings me to the end of today's video. I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on these series too, along with which ongoing series are currently your favorites, so do let me know in the comments. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.